Nyan everybody! Welcome back to another episode of creating our Kirito long blade sword for cosplay prop. So today I'm going to make the little bit embellishment that this sword has in the center part. So once again, what I did, like if I did with the original sword, took a piece of paper, traced it out first, and once I did that, I took a piece of foam board, had blank, laid it down on the foam piece, and I traced out the shape. So I do have two because this little embellishment goes on both sides of the blade. So now that that is already pre-traced out, I can go ahead and start cutting out the piece. Another thing I'll show everybody today is making the rest of the handle. At least I'm hoping I'll successfully get the rest of the handle put together the way I would like it. I just want to be able to basically round it out because obviously it sort of has a handle right now, but it's just very flat and square. So I'm trying to make it so it'll be rounded. Be able to have a nice grip to it. I've made my handles different every time. That's one area I feel like I could improve upon when it comes to my prop sword making, is making the actual handles. This is the first time I'm making it where the blade and handle are completely one piece. Other times I've had where I made the blades separate and I had to figure out how to attach the handle later on, and that usually became difficult. So that's why I'm trying to see if I can make the blade and handle just one solid piece. And I do, excuse me if you could not hear me very well, there was an airplane going over by where I live, which is quite common occurrence. I happen to have my windows open tonight because the weather just feels nice. So best to save on using AC every now and then. So once again, every time you use a craft knife, go slowly and carefully. Nobody wants to cut themselves, and though I have cut myself. But not while doing my cosplay making. Luckily enough, I cut my can with a can of corn once, the side of my hand. That was quite fun. Didn't even feel it, but all of a sudden I know there's blood going on the side of my wrist. I'm like, whoopsie doodle. But that's what happens when your hand can opener breaks. The lid's not all the way off, and you try to take a spoon to pry open the lid the rest of the way. So never ever do that. Just leave the can alone. Go out and buy one that has a pop top if you really need a can of something. You just skip that element of your meal. This is not cutting through all the way very well. Come on. So there is the first one cut out. I'm gonna see if I can slightly trim that, but I don't think that'll work too well. So we'll just take some sandpaper, if I can reach where I put that. I'm just gonna sand the edge a little. a little cleaner, smoother looking, as always. I leave it up to every individual crafter's preference of how picky or detail-oriented or smooth they want things to get. If you don't have the time, you don't really care. You don't have to put in the additional little time. Always when it comes to this sort of stuff. It does make it look nice. Generally, you don't want to twist it too much, because if you make a crease in the foam board, you can't usually get rid of it, in my mind at least, not too easily. So, trying to decide if that seems too thick. Not. Might work. Or I can even create the shape out of crafts foam. That actually might work better, because just by testing this right now, I don't know. I think that looks like it pops a little bit too much. I'm kind of wondering if that will be too flat. So yeah, as I work, I play around with stuff. Kind of have to visually look at it, see if you like what you see sometimes. And then if you don't, that's where I change up the materials I'm using. Kind of want to be able to just cut this in half. But I'm not sure if that's going to work. If so, then we're just going to go to the crafts foam. And this you really have to watch as you're going. Make sure you're actually getting it down the center. Once again, of course, please go very slow when you do it like this, because of course your fingers are very near the blade, so it's one thing that's making me feel a bit uncomfortable about doing this. So I want to kind of curious if I'll like it better if I just cut this in half and use each piece for each side of the sword for the embellishment. Turn that away from my hand, as you see. I'm going here, at least as well as I can. Okay. And cut through. Yeah, that would work actually. Just cutting that in half. Placing each one on each side. As you can see, it looks all gritty, so I'm going to use the smooth side up. Like I said, you don't want to be careful because it's not nice to get those indentations. But once again, we'll just use our crafts glue. You can use whatever brand you prefer if you have a different one in mind that you've used before. And this just happens to work really well for me. I always put plenty of glue. I always like a nice adhesion to everything I make. Get that as nicely centered as we can. The glue is kind of spitting out. When that occurs, I did overdo the glue, so I'll just take Kleenex, towel, napkin, whatever we got laying around. And we'll just wipe away the excess. Nice and smooth. You don't want goblets of glue left, because that will show up when you paint the blade to get it finished. So I'll flip it over, take our other embellishment, put glue on that, maybe not as much as I did the first one. Again, pat that down. And then we got our little embellishment attached to our blade. And like I said, now we're gonna have to finish the handle, and that's what I'm trying to experiment. So far I took a toilet paper tube, an empty one. I cut the seam open. So I'm just now wrapping this around and thinking that might help give me a bit more of a somewhat more rounded handle look. So we're going to test this. If I don't like it, obviously you can easily take it apart. But I am going to try actually gluing this in place. So the place where I have the one seam, whichever side you want to put on, I'm just going to put some glue on it. I'm just going to experiment, kind of. Like I said, I keep trying different ways of making the handle. That's the one part I do fall short on. There's usually a lot of trial and error that occurs when I do the handle. I usually never get it right the first go through. I usually end up making the handle like 2-3 times probably for the props. And that I might have to hold in place, or I might actually try to grab some masking tape and put it over it otherwise, see if that'll help hold it in place. But like I said, this does dry pretty quick, this glue, so it might hold. If not, duct tape will use, or not duct tape, but just masking tape usually works pretty well to be able to be painted over later on without anybody noticing. So once again, just gonna take our toilet paper tube and cut in line down the center, get that to open up, and then once again I'll wrap it around, make for the rest, and I'll wrap it around. So I'm going for a tight wrap, so that's why I cut it open so I can get it, I can fold it in more. And I'm going to, once again though, I think put the glue on first before I fully attach it. So once again, take my glue, smear it all over. Could use a little bit more, I think. So I do want a nice solid adhesion again for this. Take that, pick that up. Yes. I'm going to wrap that around. I'm going to get it as straight as you can. I have some glue spilling out, but that's not going to be a big deal. And just wipe that away as well. That does give it a bit more of a rounded look for our handle. That did dry, like I said, very quickly. Plus it just makes the handle get a little bit sturdier. And there is kind of like a little ring shape, I want to say, at the very top part. So I'm trying to decide. I'm just going to take some craft foam, pull that up, and wrap it around to try to get that little bit of a thicker look. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. It would definitely give that thicker look, but you would want to cut it even with the other end. You don't want to multiply wrap it around. So I'm just going to test that. Like I said, in this video I'm kind of experimenting a little. This is the part I didn't have fully plotted out. Wow, I should have let that dry, because that is moving on me. Both sides aren't. No. Okay, so I should have let that stay drying longer. Just gonna test, see how I feel like that looks. Doesn't really look all that accurate. It would make it puff out a bit more, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna keep that, but I think I will let my added embellishments dry a little longer, and we will continue later on. But so far, that seems to be working for the handles. I'm planning on taking, I believe, a big piece of craft foam, which I think I have over here. Take a bigger piece of craft foam. I think I'm just gonna wrap it around potentially once as well, just to make that smoother looking, in a sense, the handle. But I might not need to, because I'm also just thinking taking either electrical tape or ribbon and wrapping it around the toilet paper rolls, because that would cover up the fact that they are toilet paper rolls. You can plus get rid of the seam in between the two different rolls I'm using. So that's what we have for now. Basically, once everything is finished drying and I think over a little bit more of how to do that little middle section, I probably do need to relook at an image of that. I'll make sure I get that right. We will be almost done. All we'll be left with pretty much is painting the blade. So hopefully your guys' swords are looking similar to this as you're going along here. We should probably have one more video left to work for on this project. After that, I will either do one of the other swords I'm making, videos of those, or just start posting other crafts projects. I do have a request to try and make my little kitty ears, so that will probably be coming soon as well. Like I said, I try to post as often as I can, but life does kind of get in the way sometimes, as everybody knows. But I am trying to post around every Tuesday. If some weeks it probably won't be till more like Wednesday, Thursday. But at least right now, by that stuff I am actually working on for a convention for next year, I got stuff to keep on going with. So everybody, feel free to like, share, comment, suggest projects you would like to see me to do, or ask if it's something that I know how to do, and if it is, I'll get back to you, let you know, and perhaps make a video on it. So I appreciate the support. I hope everybody is having fun and enjoying this. So until next time, have a meowrific night. Goodbye, everyone.